So you talked about, since last year, January, you didn't put a tape out every month.
Yeah.
So what was the motivation behind that? Because like we don't necessarily get that from a lot of artists where they go on the run where they just drop in. And what was the motivation behind it?
Man, I don't know what it was a Gucci Mane interview. I'm not an avid listener of Gucci Mane, so I can't tell you like when or where this was there. I just remember seeing the clip.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like speaking to independent artists. He was like, why wait 6 months before you put, product out?
Right.
Why not just put all that shit out? And he was kind of explaining, why he used to release in such an abundance. Mm-hmm. And when I listened, I was like, damn, that makes sense. And initially I was trying to answer the question he asked, why wait? And, I don't know, I guess I reached the realization that most of the time what keep me from releasing is the overthinking it or over planning it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, at some point I just sat down and was like, man, I don't really... I came into the music industry or the creative part of it following an unwritten rule book. Mm-hmm. All of the people that I grew up watching and listening to, that it was like a certain way you had to do certain things. It was just about everything, really. And then as you fast forward, like now, what was that? Kanye had like a documentary. I don't know the name of the shit. Who?
Oh yeah.
Who?
Genius.
Oh,
Genius.
I don't know if that was the name of the shit.
He said that nigga now.
Okay, but when in this documentary though, you see Kanye doing in jazz they call it scatting.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what the fuck you call it in rap, so I just call it scatting.
Oh, beatboxing.
But not as an instrument, as an artist.
Okay, yeah.
So he's just mumbling lyrics, and then he was holding the mic. He mumbled some shit, and then he went and filled it back in.
Yeah.
All right, that's a process. They've been doing this.
Yeah.
But you never saw this.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So when I sat and I observed it, I'm like, man, these are the things that was taboo. You weren't supposed to do this.
Right.
You supposed to have your verse prepared when you go in. You supposed to, you're supposed to be perfect when you record it.
Right.
Nobody shows you that it's a process, and it's whatever process feels comfortable for you.
Yeah.
So, as time progresses, we start seeing more and more people show you their recording process. When you watch their recording process, and I've witnessed a lot of different people's recording processes, and I've seen, I won't say no names, I've seen niggas take 2 hours to put one verse down. And that's because, but when you hear the song, you don't know the shit took 2 hours.
Right.
So it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It only mattered to me because I'm following the rules that don't really exist.
Yeah.
So I started, I started seeing more and more shit that was happening that wasn't supposed to happen. So, I went from being displeased with it to trying to understand it.
Yeah.
Because, I'm like, damn, I don't want to see this shit now. That ain't what you're supposed to be doing. And at some point I was like, well, why isn't it what you're not supposed to be doing? Says who?
Yeah.
And, when I reached that realization, I just said, you know what, from here on out, I'm following my own rules. And I ain't making none. I'm just going to do what I feel like doing when I feel like doing it.
Right.
So when I put that first tape out, I didn't know if it was going to be 5 songs or 6 songs or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
I just said, whatever I got by the time I need to turn the tape in, that's when I'm turning in.
Yeah.
It so happened to be 8 records. And, I turned them in and I just went back to the drawing board to do the next set. I scrapped everything that existed before January 2023. And I just said, fuck it, I'm just going to go with it. And after about I say maybe the 3rd tape, even my distributor, Connect, they thought I was just blowing smoke when I said I was going to do 12 straight. And, the shit just started. I don't know if it felt like the creative process became more thrilling and it became easier.
Yeah.
Because, the shit's in, if you really think about it, everything about this is unorthodox. And, so I just started I stopped thinking about it. I don't even like again, right now I got one fucking record. I don't write if I ain't about to record.
Yeah.
I don't listen to rap, Craig can tell you I don't listen to rap music. When it's time to create, I turn the shit on, and if it flow, it flow. If it don't, I'm gonna turn that shit back off and go do something else. Right. I don't force it in no shape, form, or fashion.
Yeah.
And it's just, shit's been flowing out. So that's what I've been doing. I just stuck to it.
Well, shit, my next question was gonna be, so do you have like a plan, but based on what you just said, that's what I say.
I don't plan on doing it for 3 years straight.
Yeah.
I'm going to be sick of people.
Yeah, because I was sure going to ask, like, damn, do you have a certain amount of number or tapes that you're going to drop?
Yeah. Well, see, my initial goal was 12.
Yeah.
I never said it because I didn't want to... I'm a man of my words. If I would have said it, I would have had to stick to it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to have to stick to it. Okay. I wanted it to still be free-flowing.
Right.
So after that 12... I take everything personal. I'll say that before I say what I'm about to say. After the 12, I see people comment. I see, somebody say, that's amazing. It's never been done before. Then I see somebody say, Currency did it before. Then somebody say, they named somebody else. Papoose. They were like, Papoose did it before. Mm-hmm. And I rock with Currency. I've never met Papoose, but I got nothing against either one of them in any shape, form, or fashion. But it was irritating because I'm like, it's basically a backhanded compliment.
Facts.
Yeah.
So I got sick of seeing that. So it's all right, you're going to keep putting me in the race with people that I'm not racing with. So how about I take my name out of that race? They done 12 mixtapes or whatever, however many they did, but they ain't done 18.
Yeah.
And, shit, I'm sure by now everybody's caught the fuck on. Nobody's done 24.
Yeah.
And, when I get to 24, I made my point. I don't really, other than that, I don't really have to, I don't think I got to go for fucking 36.
Yeah.
I don't think that'd
be nuts. But
you gotta go over 25 though.
Well, we might can manage a 25. Yeah. There's importance in that. But other than
message.
That,
I mean, honestly, if you hit 25, you might as well do the 36. You might as well do the 30. Why you saying nah, dog? Why you say hell?
We're gonna focus on 25.
What happens when I go into recording mode? It's like I'm all the way done tripped in. So my wife. She get ignored for that recording process. So she'll tell you, everybody she's like,
Yeah.
When I said I was doing 12 mode, man, she almost divorced me. Oh, man. I said it's okay. They pay her streaming checks every month. You'll be okay. Yeah, but it opened up a whole new fan base for me though. I've never been this popular before. Mm-hmm. And, I feel like, of course, one is because, I put out so much music. But I think it's because my music is natural. Like, no matter what record you pick out of every record I've done, I can proudly say that every one of them is organic. You can, I didn't half-ass. I ain't cutting no corners. I ain't going in and just picking, I could have done all this shit on mixtape beats.
Right.
But that ain't what I wanted. I wanted to truly create. And like I said, I wanted it to be like, I wanted it to be more like paintings and less like songs, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. I want you to be able to, I get it, with it being so much music, it's hard to keep up with. But in no shape, form, or fashion am I expecting you to catch the tape every month. That's not the point.
Bro.
We in a time where people binge everything. Mm-hmm. So it's perfect. You
right. Get to it when you get to it.
Right. And for the most part, what I want is for one of the records to live with you.
Yeah.
So if you stuck on that one record, that's great.
That's cool.
That I hit my mark because that's all. That's what I do it for.
Yeah.
And if once you. Because I feel like my music is like, I think it's like mood based. Like, you know, you might be going through certain shit. And if you're going through what I'm going through in that record, then that record sticks.
For sure.
And when you, you know, when you make it through that, when you overcome whatever that space is, then that's when you find another record for whatever space you just made it into.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, that's the most important part for me.
Yeah.
And, you know, like now it's people who are still rocking with us from Step Brothers 1, and that's 11 years ago.
13.
Right, 13 years ago. Then, what's the name? Fucking, you said it the second, Letter to My Son.
Yeah.
And that's 15 years old.
Yeah.
And the reason they rock with those records is because they real records. They, you know, I didn't make any of this up.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think, like I said, I think that's the most important part, that something sticks with you. And, you know, especially in this day and time, like you watch a song blow up on TikTok 4 or 5 years after, you know, it should been out.
Right.
But, you know, it's resurfacing.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's how I look at it. Like, you know, you might not catch it today, but that's cool.
It's still out there.
We was watching a show not too long ago, me and my wife. I don't like plugging people that don't pay me. we was watching a show that came out in like 2022 or some shit, and we liked the show. And we watched both seasons of the show.
Yeah.
But that's you know, that's the ideology behind it for me.
Right.
Like, you don't have to catch it
when
right
they come
now.
out.
If you don't catch it, that's great. That's fine. I mean, it's fucking 18 tapes, so, you know, I get it. But, you know, the music is not it's not trendy music. It ain't just for right now.
Right.
It's for life.
Right.
And, you know, so that's really the you know, my thought process behind it.
I can respect it, get behind it, man. We appreciate folks out here putting out the music for the masses, for real. And there's got some meaning to it, some purpose behind it, for sure.